Hello everybody, welcome to another video. So today we will talk about Firebase Storage. So what is Firebase Storage? Firebase Storage is like a bucket where you put files and then retrieve them back. And there's no limit to what type of file you can put. You can add almost any type of file. MP3 files, JPG files, PNG files, MP4, AVI, all of them. Even document files like docx and PPT files. So you can add all these files and then retrieve them and display them to your users, because that is what a database is all about, where you can store everything and sync it across devices. So let's talk about Firebase storage today. We will see how to upload a file to Firebase storage and get the URI of the file. So this is our project. There's a profile picture. So what we want to do now is to set an on-click listener for the profile picture, so that when a user clicks on it, we will open up the phone gallery and select a picture, upload it to Firebase storage, get the download URI, display it in the image view. So that's our aim for of this tutorial today. First, let's set an on-click listener to the profile pic. Let's set on-click listener. You know, in Android 6.0, we need to grant permission at runtime, dangerous permissions at runtime. So first, we need to check if we have permission to access the storage. So I'll call a method here, call check permission, to check if the storage permission was actually granted by the user. And then if the permission is not granted, we want to go ahead and request the permission. So if context compat, the context compat, where are you? Okay, there is it. Context compat dot check self permission. We pass in a context, and then manifest dot permission read external storage. We want to check if it is actually granted. Then if it is not, we request it. So it is equals package manager. Oh, sorry, I write that wrong. Package manager dot permission granted. So if the permission is granted, then we want to go ahead and open up the gallery and select a picture. But in the else block, which means it is not granted, then we want to request the permission. Alright, another method again called request permission. Let's just write out the two methods. One request permission, the other one is open gallery. So in the request permission method, I will use the activity compat to actually request for the permission. So that actually takes in some parameters. The first one is a context, and the second one is a string of the permissions you want. But I only need one of them, So I'll just pass in the permission to read external storage. But don't forget to type out this permission in the Android manifest. That's what I want to do now. So we'll type uses permission Android name should be read external storage. Pass it. There it is. Read external storage. And the second permission we want to add here is for the internet. Though our application still works even without this permission, but it's always recommended to add it with internet permission. So there it is. We fire up the request to read external storage and also a request code of 100. This is the request code that will be used to verify that it is the actual permission that we requested for. It's like an identifier that identifies the request. So we'll check if the request code is equals to the request, which is 100. The request code is equal to 100, and we also need to check the grants results to make sure it's 0, which is the first index. So if the grants result is the first index, we and also check if it's granted, if the user grants the permission. Then if the user did not grant the permission, then we want to just show a message that sorry, the permission wasn't granted, so we can't open up the gallery. So I fire up the toast here saying the permission was denied. And then if the permission was granted, we want to go ahead and open the gallery. So we put in the method there called open gallery. But there's something wrong here. Say dot length. Let's go ahead and write the method to open up the gallery. So I call intent equals action dot which of them is it? Action pick, yeah, that's it. Then the next parameter is to locate the media store and get the content URI. Start the activity, call the intent, and there will be another request code for the gallery. But make sure you pass in a different number, let it not be the same. Here I'll pass in 200, but it's always good to write it as a constant above. After that, I will initialize the onActivityResult method. Call the onActivityResult method and check if the request code is actually the request code that we the gallery request code and also check if the results code is okay. Then if the result set, you want to go ahead and get the content. Here I'll create a global variable or a URI, and I'll just call it image URI. So for us to get the URI, we'll use the data that was sent from the intent. So I'll say image URI equals data dot get data. Get the data and pass it as a URI. And we will just set the picture in the image view right away. So I'll say profile pic dot set image URI. Image URI, where is the method? Yeah, there is it. Image URI that accepts a URI as a parameter. So that's all done now. The permission request was set and we got the image from gallery. So let's test the application at this point and see if everything is working correctly. So here the application is running and I will click on the profile pic to say, yeah, there is it. It is requesting for a permission now. So I'll click on allow and then the open gallery function is running now. I'll select the image from my gallery. I'll just pick one image here. So there it is. I picked the image and then it was set right back to my image view. So let's head over again to the code and actually upload the file to Firebase this time. So here I initialize a progress dialog. I just called a method called upload profile image, but again I will call a storage reference here. The storage reference is a reference to the Firebase storage. After calling the reference, I will also initialize a Firebase storage variable and initialize it rather. Call Firebase storage and initialize it with the storage reference. So I'll say Firebase storage dot get instance, and then in the storage reference we want to assign it to the Firebase storage that we created up. So we say Firebase storage reference equals storage dot get reference. But we need to put this. We need to actually create a bucket. We haven't done that yet, but I'm sure we will. So in the upload storage that takes in a URI as a parameter, this is just a basic method with a progress dialog. So I'll say storage reference equals reference and then call my storage reference or child. But what we want to do is that whenever the user changes profile picture, we want to save it in a particular bucket. And we want that bucket to be, the name of that bucket to be the current ID of the user. So in that way, we don't create a random bucket every time. So it just goes straight to one path. So there I will just call child dot then use the current user ID as the child. That is the bucket. And now inside it, it will be the current user ID slash image, but I'll change that to profile pic. And it's always good to add the extension, because if you don't add the extension, the file will be unreadable. So I'll say profile pic.jpg as the extension of the file that I want to put. So to actually upload the file and get the download URL, I want to use an upload task. So you say upload task, and then the reference, then we call the method called putFile. The putFile method accepts a URI. So I'll pass in the image URI that we have. And then to actually continue with the task and get the download URI, I want to call a task passing a URI. And then we say URI task equals to the upload task dot continue with tasks. And we also want to listen for the task completion. In the task completion is where we actually go ahead and get the download URI of the actual file. But before we get the download URI, we need to return it first. So check if the task was successful. It's always good to do that. So here we say URI, download URI equals to the task.get results. That will give us the exact URI. But in the task URI interface, we want to make sure that we return the reference, and then we say reference.get download URI. Check for errors, then just throw an exception if there is an error. So if task is successful, but we reverse the statement by adding the exclamation sign. So in essence, we're saying if task is not successful, then just throw a task exception. So that is actually done, but let's toast out the actual download URI, though this will be a very long string, but just make sure that everything is working correctly. Hide the progress bar if it's successful. So here the application is running. I will open up my Firebase storage. This is my storage console. Here in the rules tab, I will tweak a few settings here. So I'll say allow read write if true, but don't ever do this if you're building a production app. Don't, because I'm just allowing read and write even if the user is not authenticated. So here I'll try it. I'll select the image from gallery, just pick an image. There, I'll select that one, and the file is uploading. I think yes, it is done. So that is a string. Like I said earlier, it's always a very long string. I'll refresh my console so you see. So there it is. That is the user ID, the first part of the file. Then if you open it, you should see profile pic.jpg. So click on it and open. There it is. The file has been uploaded. Now below add some metadata like the file size, the time it was uploaded, and some other information. So let's head back to our project again. We want to retrieve this file that we have uploaded to Firebase File Store, and there we got the download URI. So what I want to do now is because now whenever the user selects an image from the gallery, the image view gets updated with the selected image, but not from the server. So we want to retrieve the image from the server and show it in the image view instead of picking from gallery straight to the image view. That is the next thing we want to do in this part. To get that started, I will create a method called update profile pic, and I'll put the download URI as the parameter, and then I create it below. In this section, we want to add the download URI that we got from Firebase Storage. We want to add it to our Firebase Firestore. So when this method is running, we want to show a toast so as to know that another method is running. It is actually updating the profile image. So call Firebase Firestore.collection. Inside the collection, we want to go to the users collection, and inside the collection, we want to navigate to the documents, and you know that document is a random ID, but we got it, so it is called document ID. So you say documents and then calling the document ID. But before that, let's fire up a map of type string and value of objects and initialize the map. So we say map.put. Here is a profile pic, so I'll just say profile pic, and the value will be from the URI. But this might crash later because the string is very long, so Firebase might have issues with this serialization and serialization. So we just print out a tools message saying done. And remember, we always use the updates so you don't ruin other data that's inside of it. Just checking to make sure that everything is running. Now, inside the get data method, this method runs once the account activity is called. But you know, we haven't gotten the download URI, sorry, the profile picture yet because we just added this function. So in here, I will initialize a string that gets the document snapshot and get the profile picture so that we can display it in the image view. So make sure it's always the same name, say profile pic. And in here, I will add it in the parameter, say image. Below, I'll say add it there. So I'll say Picasso.get. The Picasso is a library, an image loading library that loads image into an image view, because if you want to use a traditional image view loaded, there is always a big stress. So use Picasso. That is a dependency I added there. So we load the image inside the profile pic. And then just after we have added the thing to the database, we want to call get data. Now let's start the application and see if it's running. So I'll cancel that. And as you can see, it's blank because it is trying to retrieve an image there, but it's not seeing it. That's why it's blank. So I'll select the profile picture again. I'll select just any one of them. Set that it is uploading to Firebase Storage. Oh, the application crashed. So that's the error I was trying to tell you. The URI we added to Firebase Firestore is too long, so we need to find a way to convert it to a string. So I have done that. Here it is. I just say URI dot to string. So I'll try it again once more. Just once. Pick one of them. The file is uploading, updating, adding to Firebase storage now. Done. So yeah, that's it. The image showed up as we expected. So that's it for this tutorials, guys. Thanks for watching. If you have any suggestion, leave it in the comments below. I'll see you in the next video.